Hello. I'll do a short study here together on the Paleo Hebrew name Yahuwah and where it was found on the garments of the high priest, and where we can find evidence that it was seen as being four letters or four vowels, actually. Um, so the high priest, or the Kohen Gadol, was commanded by Yahuwah to wear uh, certain garments precisely as described by Yahuwah, and to wear it during certain times, occasions, or during certain rituals, if you will. And one of these particular garments was a gold plate that was to be worn on the Kohen Gadol's forehead. So his headgear was consisted of a turban, if you will, or a mitre of fine linen. And this fine linen turban, if you will, or mitre, was symbolic, okay, as an atonement for pride. In other words, it covered up the pride of his countenance of the high priest spiritually. That's what it did. And you can read about that in Psalms 10:4. It speaks of it. And anyway, there was tied with, drilled with two holes in each end, and a blue ribbon inserted. It was a gold band tied around the bottom of that turban across his forehead. And a lot of people call this a crown that he was supposed to wear, but it wasn't really a crown. It was more of a template made of gold. And it was to be worn around the high priest's forehead. And upon this forehead was written, to be written, the name of Yahuwah. As a matter of fact, it was to say Kadesh. So Kadesh to Yahuwah, or set apart to Yahuwah. This was symbolic for several things, really. Spiritually, it was to atone for the high priest's arrogant attitude. So, in other words, he thought he was Mr. Big Shot because he was the high priest. The name of the real high priest and master and king was written on his forehead to remind him who he belonged to and who everybody belongs to. So it was sort of an atonement for the arrogant attitude of men, and specifically in this case, the high priest. So the turban was an atonement for the pride of his countenance, and the golden plate with set apart to Yahuwah inscribed on it was an atonement for an arrogant attitude. Okay. And so I want to concentrate on that gold plate if you will. And we find that written in Exodus, or Shemot, if you will, 28, chapter 28, and verse 35 and 36 and 37. Okay, so we'll start here at 35. And it shall be upon Aaron to attend in, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the set apart place before Yahuwah, and when he comes out, so that he does not die. This is speaking of all the little bells that were supposed to go around the bottom of his robe, like. And you shall make a plate of clean gold, and engrave on it like the engraving of a signa. Kadesh to Yahuwah, or set apart to Yahuwah. That's what was supposed to be on it. So it didn't just have the name Yahuwah, it said set apart to Yahuwah, or Kadesh to Yahuwah. And you shall put it on a blue cord, and it shall be on the turban, so attached to the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban, and it shall be on the forehead of Aaron. And Aaron shall bear the guilt of the set apart gifts which the children of Israel set apart in all their set apart gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead for acceptance for them before Yahuwah. So there you go. He was to wear that on his head. Now, you hear a lot of people saying that this, especially in English translations, that this said something to the effect, the property of the Lord, or something like that. Or priest of the Lord, or something. It didn't say anything like that. It said set apart to Yahuwah, Kadesh to Yahuwah on it is what it said. And if we look at, there's a certain man, okay, that is called Flavius Josephus. That's what he's known as. And he wrote a bunch of first century books. Okay. And this is one of them. It's called The Wars of the Jews. And in this book, it describes what Jerusalem looked like at the first century. And also, he was an eyewitness to the destruction of the second temple, Herod's temple in Jerusalem, okay, that was destroyed in 70 AD by the Romans. Well, this Flavius Josephus was sitting up on the hill witnessing the destruction of the temple. And so he describes that. And among other things, okay, he eyewitnessed and wrote down. So among this first century historian's writings is a little tiny sentence here that's in his book 5. There's 8 books in this book. And book 5 on page 226, okay? And I believe this is, paragraph 7. There's a little tiny sentence right down here I got highlighted in yellow. You see it? There you go. There you go. A mitre also of fine linen encompassed his head, which was tied in a blue ribbon, about which there was another golden crown, in which was engraved the word, the sacred name of all. It consists of 4 vowels. See that, 4 vowels? So of course this has been rewritten, and because it was originally written in Hebrew, of course, and so they've got their hands on it, so you saw the G-O-D there instead of all, A-L. But the main part of it is it was consisted of his name. The sacred name consisted of 4 vowels. So when they tell you there's no vowels in Paleo-Hebrew, then now you know that's not correct, because a first century eyewitness who was a Hebrew himself, okay, fully fluent in the Hebrew language, could write it, speak it, read it, the whole 9 yards. And he was I believe he was a general as well in the Israeli army, so he was a highly educated man to boot. Has witnessed, written down, that this sacred name of Yahuwah of all consisted of 4 vowels. Okay, and so if you take the 4 vowels, which if we translate it over into English or Latin letters, which we use to write our words with, we come up with a Y, an H, a U, and an H. Okay, and if you sound those out using what they call short vowel sounds, you can pretty much understand, get a pretty good idea of the pronunciation of the sacred name of the Creator. Okay, so Yahuwah. Okay, Yahuwah. Say So that would be Yud, Hey, Hey. Would be the 4 vowels, Hebrew vowels, Paleo-Hebrew vowels. Okay, Yahuwah. Okay, so that's how we know. So there you go, folks. There's the proof of it. Again, it's in Exodus 28, verses 36 and 37. Plainly states it. And the War of the Jews, written by first century eyewitness, historian Flavius Josephus, in his book, The War of the Jews. Eyewitness to, he saw that golden plate on the high priest's forehead up close and personal, and it was 4 vowels. Okay, and we know those were Ud, Hey, Hey. Okay, so we know that for sure, that's what those are, no doubt about it. Okay, so next time that somebody tells you that there's no vowels in Paleo-Hebrew, if you have that book right there, you can pull that out and show it to them, But basically, here's how it looks in the Paleo-Hebrew. Okay, and like I said, written in Latin letters, it's Y-H-U-H. There's no W in there. The W was invented because it was supposed to make the sound in Hebrew, because they didn't have a W in Latin or Greek, so they had to they put two U's together to create the ooh sound. They needed an ooh sound. So double U, two U's side by side. And eventually they morphed into connecting because the U morphed into a V in the Latin. And that V was originally supposed to pronounce ooh. That was an invented letter so they could pronounce the Hebrew ooah, which was ooh. So they needed that ooh sound, so they made the V to say, to signal ooh when you read it. And that morphed into V instead of ooh, a vowel. It went into being a consonant, right? Ooh, v, like that, instead of a vowel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Same with the W, instead of ooh. See? So there you go. That wraps that up. And remember to use the true name of our Creator. If you know His name, you've heard His name, and you know it's Yahuwah, then quit calling Him anything else but by His name. Because as brief as names are in context, they are vitally important for identifying the person that the context is being written about or speaking about. Okay, so they're vital. Names are extremely important. So if you know His real name, start using it and teach it to others too. Yahuwah. Thank you for watching. So long, everybody. So long, Netzarim, beloved of Yahuwah. Bonus feature time. Okay, so more proof of the true name is kind of really kind of an intriguing situation because people unknowingly in all types of religions, which is man-made traditions or demonic doctrine, any type of religion. If you're in a religion, get out quickly. No religion required to worship Yahuwah. Funny thing is, they all start their prayers out, and in their prayers, a lot of them, and even through their prayers, are praising and worshiping His true name, Yah. When they say Hallelu-YAH. So we say Hallelu-YAH. They try to hide it by misspelling it with the J. They like to put a J-A-H at the end, but we don't really say Hallelu-YAH. So who are they trying to fool? We don't say Hallelu-YAH. We say Hallelu-YAH with a Y. That's how that's pronounced in every language on the planet. It is pronounced Hallelu-YAH, regardless of how they try to cover it up and hide it with spelling. It still is pronounced Hallelu-YAH. You can't change the Yah because you cannot translate a proper name. Okay? It has to sound the same in any language, or otherwise it wouldn't be the real name now, would it? How would He know you're calling on Him if you change His name? Nobody would. You can't change someone's name. You can only transliterate the name using the target language, vocabulary, their letters, their can only be put together to make it sound out how it sounds in the original language. Otherwise, you just have to write it the way it is written in their original language. Then, if you can't do it in your alphabet, so it's Hallelu-YAH. We don't say Hallelu-JAH. We don't say Hallelu God or Hallelu Lord or Hallelu Jesus or Hallelu. Jehovah. We don't say any of that. So that's not his name. Because what Hallelu-YAH means, okay, the meaning of it in Hebrew is praise to Yah. Praise to Yah. Now, praise Yah. Praise to Yah. That's what it means. And it's just the diminutive or shortened poetic form of his name anyway. Like Mike and Michael, Dave and David, Steve and Stephen, Peter and Pete, okay, Deborah and Deb, okay. It's just the diminutive form of his name, Yah. So his real name is Yahuah. So it'd be Hallelu-Yahuah, okay, if you want to say it in the long form. So there you go. There's more proof. And whether you believe it or not, you're still praising Yah when you say hallelujah. Too bad. Thank you for watching. And remember to stay in love with Yahuwah. Hallelu-YAH. So long, Nazarene, beloved of Yahuwah. Bonus feature 2 time. All right, want more evidence? Okay, I'll give you more evidence. This is what you call a new King James Version. I know it looks kind of weird, don't it? Oh, camouflaged up. It is the new King James Version, nonetheless. And in the New King James Version, if you have one, turn to Psalms 68:4. Psalm 68:4. And you will see his true name written on them pages. Here it is. By his name Yah, and rejoice before him. You see Yah there? And then you go to that same New King James Version. Then you go to 12. Right here. For Yah is my strength and sound. See it? Yah. Hallelu-YAH. And then in that same New King James Version, stay in Isaiah there. No, that was Isaiah 12 too, by the way. We just read. Then stay in Isaiah 26:4. 26:4. For in Yah is everlasting strength. For in Yah. Yeah. And stay in that New King James Version. And stay in Isaiah. Go to 38:11. 38:11. That's it. I shall not see Yah. Yah. See it? Yah. YH. There you go. There's 4 times It is written in the New King James Version. Okay? 4 times. Now the name Yah means I am. So I am is in the first person, and of course Yah would be how we would say it. Only Yahuwah himself can say I am. So when we say I am, we say Yah. So Yah means I am in Hebrew. So Yahusha, in the name of the deliverer, would mean I am your deliverer. Yah, your deliverer. Hallelu-YAH means praise to Yah. Praise Yah. Praise to Yah. You praise Yah. Hallelu-YAH. Okay? So, although they tried to hide it by replacing the Y with a J, which never existed until up into the 16th century, and even into the 17th century before it actually replaced the I and the E into the I and E. Then they changed it to the J and E. Okay, so the I grew a tail up around the first edition of the King James Version, 1611, was spelled I-E. Okay, S-O-U-S. It's a name of a pagan Greek god, what it is, Zeus. It's invented. It's an invented name and applied to the creator of the universe by false teachers, deceivers, working for the father of lies. What it is. So Yahuwah is his true name. Okay? And we should use it. Once we know that, we need to use his true name. Stop calling on a fictitious name created by the father of lies and programmed into our minds at birth, to fool us and keep us from calling on the name of the true creator. The only name in the Shemayim or on the Uretz that we can call upon for deliverance. It's kind of important. They actually removed his name 6,823 times in scriptures. Not to mention over 200 times they removed the deliverer's name, Yahusha. But Yahuwah, they replaced it 7,000 times. If you read the preface of your favorite translation, you will find that they admit to replacing the name of Yahuwah with a device. And if you look up the word device, it will tell you that it is trickery, deceit. It's a stratagem. And stratagem is a trick to deceive the enemy. So apparently, we're someone's enemy because they used a stratagem on us and replaced his name with a device, such as G-O-D and L-O-R-D and J-E-S-U-S and J-E-H-O-V-A-H, which means wicked or ruin. So you don't want to be using that stuff. So that's about a wrap on it. I hope that turns on some light bulbs and enlightens someone, and they begin to call on the name of Yahuwah and Yahusha for deliverance. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay in love with Yahusha and call upon Yahuwah. So long, everyone.
living water, Baruch haba b'Shem Yahuwah, Yahusha, living water, Baruch haba b'Shem Yahuwah. I sing out with praise to you. Your name is beautiful to me, my King. I sing out with praise to you. My heart desires to honor you, my Yah. I sing out with praise to you, Yahusha.